Good afternoon. My name is Angelucci. I'm the director of Angelucci Architects and presenting our project Nido House this afternoon. Firstly, we acknowledge the traditional owners of country and we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, particularly the Wurundjeri language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations on whose unceded lands we conduct our business. So this Nido House was an existing modest Victorian workers' cottage on approximately 4.8 by 22 metres long. The site is about 113 square metres and it came with 3 small bedrooms and a rear garden with an outdoor toilet and a small kitchen. Located on a local corner, this tuck-pointed Victorian brick terrace has now been transformed into a family home for a couple with 4 small children. The project presents 2 faces to the neighbourhood, one being a period facade that's been fully restored and the other showing contemporary elevation that provides a new address, including a new arched front door that's now used as the main point of entry. The use of slate in the new wing, expressed as a drip line, also gives the home its contemporary edge, acknowledging the home's traditional pitched slate covered roof. The extension of Victorian terrace, including a basement and first floor, concealed behind the original parapet, has enabled the house with its extension to read as essentially a single-storey dwelling from the front. The rear raked ceilings reduce the impact of amenity to adjoining neighbours while still creating abundant natural light into the house. The design responds to the original home with the use of contemporary handmade bricks along the elevation and the reuse of the original bricks in the courtyard glimpsed when the new side entry door is opened. Importantly, use of bricks allows a clear delineation between past and present. We drew inspiration not only from the context of the site, being in a heritage streetscape, but as importantly from the belief that Victorian cottages, however modest, can be manipulated to create a contemporary family home. At a time when families are moving to the suburbs to find suitable accommodation, this project exemplifies the ability for families, even with 4 children, such as this case, to create a different type of home with considerably less land and built form. This is achieved by borrowing views from neighbours, allowing natural light into the core and creating sight lines beyond boundaries, allowing the house to feel considerably larger. As in the case of the kitchen down below on the right-hand side, which looks over a row of front gardens of the neighbouring Victorian terraces, while the outdoor space is limited to a courtyard. When the glass doors and windows are open, there's a greater sense of space. Cross-ventilation, slab heating ensures the temperature in the home is constant to allow the courtyard to remain open throughout the seasons. Vistas are created through the passages and stairwell by feature windows at either end, extending views beyond the site. Nido House demonstrates that they can live in the inner city, benefit from the amenities this offers, and not add to Melbourne's urban sprawl. At the heart of the design is the ability to make small spaces feel considerably larger. It's about making spaces work harder by addressing elements such as including nooks and crannies for young children to explore, allow sunlight, air and views. Local artisans and craftspeople, including the owner, who is a builder, have all lovingly applied their skills, including the distinct green handmade tiles, locally made here in Victoria, on one of the walls in the courtyard, and the hand-scalloped Welsh slate. Having the owner also as a builder meant the design could be slightly adapted and modified during the construction process. The Venetian plaster walls, executed by a master craftsperson ready to retire, not only reflects the light, but it also adds the home's tactility. Curvaceous tiled walls and oak joinery adds a softness to the interior space. The owners were looking for a robust inner city home that also allowed for entertaining. Despite the modest footprint, there's a sizable kitchen and generous living room. Space that can become one large space when the glass doors to the courtyard are retracted. The benefit of having a rumpus room in the basement also allows the children to have their own space. Bedrooms are small, but are generous, both in ceiling height, natural light, and impressive views, either of the city skyline or the neighbourhood. The design includes a variety of spaces that are flexible and, importantly, are often only found on a suburban plot. The organic shaped bath in the guest powder room is as much fun as it is more as a blow-up wading pool in a traditional backyard. Here it's not so much a backyard as an indoor-outdoor space into a courtyard where the demarcation lines are blurred so that the kitchen living space at ground floor felt considerably larger. Instead of creating spaces that aren't used, we ensured the house could be used on various levels. Organic shaped baths that allow the children to feel like they're in a plunge pool in their own back garden. Bedrooms with nooks to explore and occupy. The pitch roof parapets allow for first floor terraces and even a cubby house for the children to explore. The owners could have built a larger house, but were keen to live in a quality abode that was well crafted. Materials such as oak in the kitchen joinery and the extensive use of Japanese tiles in the bathroom and kitchen creates a sense of bespoke that could not have been achieved on a larger design within the project budget. It was agreed a smaller and more compact house requires less maintenance and energy to operate, and in the long term more sustainable. Each space, with the exception of the rumpus room, benefits from natural light, cross ventilation, and in the case of the kitchen, an operable skylight window that is protected by an established Japanese maple. There's cross ventilation, abundant natural light, and appropriate orientation, including shielding from western sunlight. And in the case of the renovation, there's a strong dose of recycling, such as the original bricks used for the contemporary edition.
1 minute remaining.
Thank you. Nido house is not large, but everything required for the family to grow has been included, such as a laundry chute on the first floor that connects to the basement. There's also a wine cellar in the basement, concealed behind the staircase. And while the house allows the couple to entertain, it also responds to the needs of the 4 children. The entire family benefits from living in the city. The house functions for a family with young children who require constant supervision. The kitchen and living areas, for example, were treated as one, yet benefiting from the level of separation from the insertion of the courtyard, and having generous rumpus room for the children to complete, with blackboard walls for the children to draw and play. Although presenting as a Victorian cottage to the street, Nido House includes all the amenities this family was looking for: a generous kitchen and dining area, 2 living areas, and sufficient bedrooms and accommodation. While 3 of the 4 children share a bedroom with built-in bunks, their play areas are extensive, moving from basement rumpus room to the 3rd floor to rooftop terrace, the gardens and views to the city. And given the restriction of the site, the modest internal courtyards as an extension of living spaces allows the children to freely nest next to mum and dad, preparing meals or lounging. Now, including 2 living areas, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, an ensuite, the modified home with a basement and 1st floor demonstrates how a family can comfortably live within a small footprint in the inner city.